Hello, YouTube Sidekick here, and welcome to another instant action tutorial. This time we're taking a look at the mission called Mortar Bombing. It's on the Syria map. Just remember that, as with the other instant action missions, this one will be part of a release of the Community A-4E version 2. And if you're watching this before the full version 2.0 release, you may not find it there. So it's also available on my Discord channel. One thing to note about this mission as you spawn in. It does go into active pause, as the other instant action missions do, but you'll also find that the mission does freeze momentarily. Don't panic. This is normal. It's because we have to do a bit of scenery renovation to reset the map from its 2020 state to the way it looked in 1973. And that's because the mission is set on the Golan Heights in early 1973 during the prelude to the Yom Kippur War. We're flying an Israeli Air Force A-4, and up ahead we have an observation post on the purple line, the ceasefire line with Syria. A Syrian mortar battery is harassing them from Syrian territory, and we're here to convince them that that was really a bad idea. We're carrying a mixed load of 4 Mark 20 Rockeyes on pylons 2 and 4, and 6 Mark 82 bombs on pylon 3. The mortar position is marked with orange smoke, and we just need to make an approach and put some warheads on foreheads, as it were. The only wrinkle is that in order to avoid provoking an undesirable escalation of the situation, once we cross into Syrian airspace, we'll only have 8 minutes to complete the mission and get back to our side. So I think the way that I'm going to handle this is to make an initial run with the cluster bombs and drop them all and see how many of the mortars I can get in one drop. And then after that, I'll go around and clean up what's left with the slicks. So let's get set up. First of all, let's hide the control column. Then let's select 4 bombs so we can drop all of our Rockeyes in one pass. We'll put a bit of an interval between them and we'll ripple them off singly. We need to select the Rockeye pylons, and we're going to put the selector switch into computer-assisted bombing mode. Now, in my case, for the release that I was flying at the time, this switch position is labeled Labs. In the final release, you're going to want to turn the selector all the way to the computer switch position. We'll need to put the master arm on, and then we'll also want to turn the radar to air-to-ground mode. In this video, I'm also putting a small deflection on the sight, but in the final release, you'll want to leave it set to 0. That's another change between the release I was flying and the final version. And I think we're ready to go. All right, we're unpaused. You can see the orange smoke just off the right-hand side. We're just going to start climbing. Got to remember that the ground here is around 2,000 feet, so we got to subtract that from our barometric altitude. So, we want to get up over 12,000 feet probably for a good roll-in. I'm going to stay on this side, avoid rolling in until the last minute because we want to keep on this side of the border and keep the timer from starting. But I think that's looking pretty good. So let's start curving in here, start our approach. And there you see we've crossed into Syrian airspace, so we have 8 minutes. So I think I want to come around and come down on this from the north. It looks like the way they're lined up, that's probably the best chance to get multiple tubes. So let's roll it in. Pull the lift vector on the target. Roll around here, get ourselves straightened out. We're going to pickle and hold when we got it on target, right about there. And in the new implementation of the bombing computer, the indication noise, the beep comes on and stays on until the bombs drop. Used to just blip when the bombs drop. And that's one of the changes that have been made to the bombing computer. Okay, well that looked pretty good, and ate up a minute of our 8 minutes. So now let's switch to the slicks. So we got to change pylons and change to just dropping 2 at a time. And let's go around. It looks like we got at least 3 secondaries down there. That's pretty good. So let's set ourselves up, see if we can see. It looks to me like the 2 mortars. Yeah, it looks to me like the 2 mortars that we missed are on this side of the orange smoke. So we'll just have a go at each one of them in turn. And we're getting close. Getting close. Probably right around there. And again, we pull the flight path vector towards the target and then try to roll around. Then we wait for the pipper to cross the target and we'll pickle and hold. When we get there, right about there. Now, you will notice in this mission there is a little bit of light flak down there, so you do have to be a little careful. You probably don't want to make your approach too low. So that looks like we got 1 more mortar. I think that probably means we've got 4 of them, so we just need to get 1 more here on this pass. Pretty much come around and make the same kind of approach. Yeah, we got 5 minutes left. That still should be plenty of time. And we're coming around, pick up that last mortar there. And roll it in. One more time, nice smooth lift vector to target. Roll around that flight path vector. Get it. Pipper on the target and hold. And there's our last set. I think that means we can head for home. I think we got all the targets. So, stay low, stay fast. There we go. Still got a little bit of time left on the clock. And there we go, home in plenty of time. So now I'm just going to head south. If you fly south far enough, you will get a little bit of score. Tells you how many mortars you actually destroyed. So while I'm doing that, I'll let you know that if you like these videos, you should subscribe to the channel and like the videos. I hope you enjoyed that instant action mission. I hope you give it a try yourself. And for now, this is going to be Sidekick, signing off.